The experience of being translated has been marvellous. It's been exciting and incredibly flattering to have that much attention paid to my work, and for people to be poring over my words in that much detail. I'm going to report also a nightmare that I had after the second day of translation, which was, I mean, my conscious mind has been enjoying this process very much, and it's been actually wonderful. When the translators have been getting on with their intense work on the text, I've been working on my new novel, and that process seems to be brilliant. I feel like I'm sort of coasting on the energy of all this attention to words. But then, after the second day of translation, I had a dream, a nightmare, that I was in the translation chamber, and a man was using, you know, one of those meat slicing machines they have in delis to slice Parma ham really thinly, was using one of those machines to with something that looked a bit like a celeriac, which is a vegetable that looks like a brain, taking very thin slices as if it were my brain being sliced. And I thought, there's something of that to it as well. There's something about, it brings you into contact with an element of language which one doesn't usually have to address, which is that just as probably when each of us taste, we taste something slightly different, and when we see colours, we see something slightly different. Similarly, when we use language, our words mean something slightly different to each person. And when somebody says to you, so exactly what did you mean when you used this word railway? Exactly what were you trying to do with that rather than using the word train? Suddenly you come into contact with the fact that there are so many different associations around every word that you use. The subconscious is laid bare and indeed sliced very thinly, like transections of stone done by geologists, so you can see what's going on inside. If that's not too arty a way of putting it. Oh, translators are wonderful. Will anybody ever care about your words as much as translators? Actually, one set of people do. I write novels, and I also write games, and particularly computer games, puzzly games. And so I have written things where if people paid very close attention to my words, they were in with a chance of winning a £100,000 prize. That is the only other time that people have paid this much attention to my words. I mean, all the people here have been amazing. It's been the kind of place one can have very serious conversations about the nature and limits of language, which, you know, for me, that's like a stonemason or a builder wanting to have a conversation about bricks. You know, that's the matter of my life, are those words. So it's heaven, frankly. Spending time around translators is absolute heaven. I never want to leave, except everyone else is going home tomorrow. Well, what are the students getting out of it? I mean, in a way, I feel that I'm experiencing some kind of amazing group therapy where there are 12 people working on me all at once. I hope, it seems that it seems to me, and I can't speak for them, but it seems that what's important is, or what's fascinating is for them to be able to actually ask me about what the meaning of each word is, about what I was actually intending, and to have a sense of how writers work. I mean, obviously, and I think this is both frustrating and illuminating, quite often when there's an ambiguity in the English and they come to me and say, well, what exactly did you mean by this? What I repeatedly reply is, I meant it to be ambiguous. In English, you can use this word. I said that something was singular, and this in English means both only appertaining to one person, and it means odd, unusual. And so, and it's lovely to have that, to be able to do that ambiguity in English, and you can't do that in Italian. So I hope that they'll go away with a sense of confidence, that they are able to read a text and use their instincts about what it means and reproduce it, and understand that every translation is, in some sense, a failure. I think that's the nature of translation, but it's all right. I think I'm going to have to let the experience settle in my mind before I know what has happened to me this week. I mean, I had a dream about somebody slicing my brain into thin slices. I think we say that something's happened. Do you know, actually, I know this is a weird answer, but somehow it's been very good for my creative confidence, I think. I really have done good work on my new novel this week, just sitting whilst everybody has been working, writing. And I think there's something about being taken that seriously, which one can forget, sitting at one's desk day after day, working, that there is an audience, there are people who are loving your work and who are really thinking about it. And yeah, writing is very solitary, and you only get the applause about 2 years after you finish the performance. So yeah, it's given me a sense of the existence of readers, which is absolutely priceless.